What's up, guys? DD Quad here, back again, once again, this time bringing you my Week 3 matchup of the CPC Majors. Let's go! Okay, so quick recap of the season. We are currently 1-1 with a +1 differential, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I feel like that's where we are right now. And this week we're going up against an undefeated team in Will, coach of the San Antonio Sparce. He's currently 2-0 and coming off two huge victories. So hopefully this week we can maybe sneak out a victory. That'd be pretty cool. So again, his team this week is going to be Tapu Lele, Salamence, Dugtrio, Heatran, Muck, Alolan Form, Blastoise, Jolteon, Mega Alakazam, and Dunsparce. This team is pretty scary with the Psychic Core of Tapu Lele and Mega Alakazam, and with a really great offensive presence of Salamence and Dugtrio, really be able to trap some huge threats, and Salamence just being a beast on its own and able to really break down a lot of teams. So there's going to be some threats we're going to try and play around. And yeah, that's pretty much the team. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. Now, looking at his team, I saw that Cloyster had a fantastic matchup this game. With Shell Smash, at +2, he could outspeed everything, and with Icicle Spear, he could almost kill everything, bar a Blastoise at +2, and with minimal hazards up on the field. So I was pretty hyped about that. I knew Cloyster was going to be a huge threat. So went ahead and gave him a little bit of defense, gave him enough speed to outspeed Alakazam at +2, and then just poured everything else into his offenses to really be able to take advantage of everything. The 56 special attack was enough to I forget what percentage it was on Blastoise, but it was enough to make it a nice roll. I think after hazards, I forget what percent it was, but that's what the logic was there for that, and then why the rest just went into defense, because I gotta make Cloyster bulky if I want to be able to listen hits from the likes of Salamence, Dugtrio, and especially that the Alolan Muck, which I was kind of thinking might be a little bit of an issue, since it could maybe live in Icicle Spear depending on his defensive investment, plus the berry that it would get as a boost. So that was kind of my logic there. Next up, I wanted a way to hopefully break down the Blastoise. I was thinking maybe I could lure him in with a Mega Houndoom, wanting to go for a Fire Blast, but not having that, and just going right for the Dark Pulse. And if I was able to, just firing off a Destiny Bond. Also wanted to switch into the Tapu Lele and Mega Alakazam Psychic. That way he can just spam that against my team, because I'm a little bit weak to that. So come, I think, with Mega Houndoom, and hoping I could just kind of sneak off a Sucker Punch if the terrain went down, or just go ahead and just straight up Destiny Bond some of his bigger threats like Salamence or Tapu Lele. Next up is Cobalion. Again, was really just bringing this as a good check, or a good way to weaken Blastoise, because just a close combat could straight up do about 30% to him, which is roughly what we needed. Maybe one or two of those hits going off on him. And also just having the Shed Shell and being able to switch out, he could really damage a lot of things. Like he could get some chip damage off on Salamence, Tapu Lele, Muck, Alolan, Heatran. It really does a great mod. And with Shed Shell, I didn't want to be trapped by Dugtrio and really hopefully catch him off guard if I was able to get a Rock Polish off. So that's why I kind of gave him the dual dance there, and then just good stabs to hit everything hard. Next up was my Roserade. I want to go ahead and bring the Focus Sash set and really just try and get up at least 1 or 2 layers of spikes. And then if I was able to, go ahead and just get chip damage off with Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, and HP Ground, which hit all of his team extremely hard. And yeah, that was pretty much Roserade. Pretty simple. Max speed, just try and go ahead and get as many spikes up as I can. And Sash, just try and live a hit. If I was able to, I was going to try and kill Tapu Lele if he let off with that, or something like Blastoise or Jolteon, try and get some chip damage off on that, but we'll see how we do there. Garchomp is my second cleaner of choice this week. If everything takes a round of spikes, and potentially, just spikes, if everything takes a layer of spikes, and maybe some chip damage, so Cloyster can get a good sweep off, or Cobalion, Earthquake kills everything but Salamence, like just straight up killed everything with the Choice Scarf. So that's kind of my logic there. Just went ahead and gave him Max, and then Dragon Claw if I needed to hit the Salamence really hard. Toxic, if he was going to try and switch into his Blastoise or something, which was the only thing that could let it hit. Blastoise needed to be weakened, and I have 4 ways to kind of weaken it, and hopefully one of these threats can either Cloyster or Garchomp, or even a Cobalion can hopefully sweep through him. And then last up, I brought Clefable with the Light Clay, trying to set light screens up for me, just because a lot of his special attackers and Jolteon, Mega Alakazam, and Tapu Lele were really threatening to my team. So I want to be able to go ahead and kind of just weaken their hits. Encore was there to try to help me set up with either Cobalion or mainly Cloyster if I was able to Encore his Salamence, maybe the Dragon Dance, or Encore his Blastoise, or maybe his Heat Rain into a status move. I was going to be able to try and take advantage of that. And then Moonblast and Softball just for longevity and be able to fire off some Moonblast on things like Salamence. So So that's pretty much the team. Let's go ahead and get right into team preview now. Whew, we're just powering on through. I'm sorry, guys. I kind of like rushed through these. I like talk really fast and like, it's just I don't have a whole lot of time, so I try to get these done as fast as I can. Hopefully next week I will have a little bit more time to really give them nice like quality, in-depth analysis. But yeah. Anyway, let's just go ahead and hop into the team. So let's see. You already know the 6 that I brought. We just went over that, and now let's see what he brought. So he brought the Tapu Lele and Alakazam core, which I was really worried about. He brought the Blastoise as well, which is probably the biggest threat to my team, and I have no way of or I just need him to get whittled down to about 50%-ish, I think 40-ish% to be able to really sweep with one of my Mons. And then the Dunsparce I kind of ruled out as not really being a threat. Probably bring Stealth Rocks, but like a lot of my team wasn't really getting hit hard by it, and my team could hit it hard in return. So I wasn't worried about Dunsparce, and that's kind of my thought process. I knew right away that I thought Closer could definitely win this game if I was able to get it in on Salamence or Dugtrio, being that none of them could really hit it too hard, or even the Dunsparce, depending on its coverage moves. So my thought process was, let's just go ahead and lead off with Roserade, and we'll try to take down his team from there. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. So I'm going to lead off with Roserade, so he's going to make a aggressive lead and lead right off with Alakazam. I'm not going to take the Psychic and break my Sash just yet, so I'm going to go ahead and switch out into Clefable, as I'm going to be able to chew that hit relatively decently. I'm just going to go ahead and try and set up a light screen so I can live these hits better, but unfortunately he's going to taunt me, as I'm going to go out into my Houndoom, as he predicts that perfectly and fires off a Focus Blast and is able to hit it. So now I'm going to go out in the Garchomp and know I can just threaten it with an Earthquake, as he's just going to go into Dunsparce, which can eat it pretty well, but at least I get that chip damage off and bring it down to about half. As I can now go ahead back out into Clefable and finally get off that light screen that I really wanted to get after he gets off his Stealth Rocks, which breaks my Sash, which kind of sucks, but not the end of the world. I'm going to be able to go ahead and just get it back at the full and attempt to fire off an Encore here, expecting him to want to try and Moonblast here, expecting him to try and get Dragon Dance off. But he's just going to go ahead and straight up break my neck with that Corkscrew Crash. I'm going to go ahead and go right into Cobalion. I know I can live any one hit and be able to fire off 2 Iron Heads thanks to a flinch, as I'm going to be able to bring him just low enough as he's going to bring out his Blastoise, which excites me extremely, because now I can go ahead and fire off an Iron Head into close combat, and after leftovers, that's going to bring it up to about 6 to 8%. So now it's going to be either a hit from my Garchomp or my +2 Cloyster to weaken that thing down so that one of them can sweep. So I'm going to go ahead out into my Roserade, and I'm just going to go ahead and try and fire off a Sludge Bomb, knowing it would do a lot of the Blastoise, and if he decides to go into something like Tapu Lele or even his Salamence, it would weaken it down significantly and potentially kill them. As this time I don't have any switches, so I'm going to go right out into Garchomp and fire off an Earthquake, which he brings out his Blastoise, and I'm going to be able to get 38% off and now put it in the range of another Earthquake. He's trying to preserve the 6-0 at this point, so he's going to go into Blastoise, or Salamence, which I almost predicted went out to Cloyster, but I decided to play it safe, as now I know he might go try again to preserve it, so I'm just going to go straight for an Earthquake. And again, I should have switched out into Cloyster, but I didn't, as now he has the Salamence in, and I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get him to, I'm sorry, I just lost my whole train of thought there. Either way, I'm hoping that he might try to switch out, fearing the Dragon Claw, but he's just going to go ahead and keep setting up, and then, yeah, that's it. But now at this point, my Cloyster has a 25% or 75% chance to live any hit that he's going to go for, and he's going to be scared of the Ice Shard and go ahead and just switch out into Dunsparce, which is a huge misplay on his behalf, because he should have just gone for the 25% chance to win, but luckily my Ice Shards, or Icicle Spear, sorry, are just going to be able to go ahead and clean through. The Hidden Power Grass is in range of Blastoise, and the rest of his team goes down to 100% accurate Icicle Spear, and that's going to be the game. Sorry if I didn't really explain that whole end game really well. There's a couple times I should have switched out in the Cloyster when he was bringing in Salamence. Now I could live any hit easily when he was at neutral damage, but I didn't. I kind of misplayed there. But I was kind of just hoping that he wouldn't realize I was Choice Scarf Garchomp and try and play around that. And luckily he kind of did and only set up the +1 and was too scared to set up any further, which was really advantageous on my behalf, as I was able to eventually kind of just take him down. And then Cloyster, luckily, he switched out, even though I had a 75% chance, a little bit more than that, to live the hit, so I wasn't too worried. And since he had no priority on his team, thanks to Tapu Lele, I knew Icicle Spear was pretty much going to be able to clean the game. So it pretty much came down to a 12% chance of me losing this game, but luckily he switched out. I don't know if I'd call that a choke. I guess you could argue it is, because that was his best chance of winning, I think. But I think my Cloyster ended up coming in great endgame, and luckily Garchomp kind of scared him into only wanting to set up to +2, or +1, sorry. And that's pretty much the game. So Sorry, I was kind of rushed, but your Philadelphia Phanpys are now 2-1 in the CPC majors, and I'm honestly really happy with how the results came out. I was able to beat two great coaches, and then Hiker's still giving me trouble, which he does every single time I play him. So it is kind of just it is what it is. But hopefully next week when we're going up against one of the commissioners, I believe we're going up against Fallop. I forget. But anyways, I'm really excited. We're gonna keep up this hot streak hopefully and not go 2-2, and we'll just keep on rolling. Definitely check out Will's channel in the description below and all the other CPC coaches and all the awesome great content that's coming out. All the power rankings, plays of the weeks, I don't know what else, but definitely keep up your support for the Philadelphia Phanpys, and that's it. Peace out, guys. Whew. That was a mouthful. Can I stop my recording? I don't know.